Well, hey there. Welcome back to Bo's Garage. And today on the Bo's Garage Basics, we're going to be changing Legacy's oil. Try and show you the best I can on how to do it, what you're going to need, how you're going to do it, what to do afterwards. Let's get started. Alrighty, like I said, we're going to be changing the oil here on poor Legacy. Some things some folks out there need to know. A couple things you're going to need when you get started. For instance, you're going to need a specific amount of oil. For all purposes, mine takes 4 quarts, so I got an extra quart for free. No, it takes 5 quarts, my bad. 5 quarts. And you're going to need some kind of engine oil filter. Keeping your old one on might save you in a pinch, but it does not remove any of the debris or any of the nonsense the old oil filter has caught. Down here you have my handy dandy 19th century style toolbox and something to drain your oil into. I chose an old kind of busted up tub that I can use to pour the old oil back into the empty container here. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Well, hello again. So as you can tell, there's not a lot of headroom. Lucky had well more headroom than Legacy. Legacy performs a lot better than Lucky. With that being said, okay, let me see if I can't readjust my arm here. Oh goodness. Okay, maybe, okay, there we go, kind of. All right, let's see if I can't hold you like this. There we go. All right, right here, this is your oil drain plug. Right above it, that's my oil drain, that's your oil filter. You're gonna need to take both of those off. Now, before I give you an exact size on that, like I just came down here to see where everything was. All my stuff is pre-staged. Let me see. There we go. Everything down there is pre-staged. You have your bucket, your new oil engine oil filter. Got my sockets right there, and my handy dandy toolbox just was sitting there chilling. So, give me just a moment, I'll give you a size on that. All right. With that being said, found the right socket. It's a 15 millimeter. Not sure if this is the universal size for Chevrolet, but on this particular 1999 Chevy S10 with a Vortex in there, Vortex V6, it's a 15 millimeter. So go ahead and grab your socket and your socket wrench. Set that off right next to you. Now, as you can see over here, this angling is going to be funny. You've got your tub, and you'll notice it's not completely underneath that plug. The reason is you got to get your hands in there first and crack that loose. Now I've just been driving. I got back from school, picked up some parts on my way home. You are going to have to, number one, make sure you don't burn yourself. Number two, if it's still hot, use a rag. I have a rag already pre-staged nearby, and I'll show you kind of how to do it. And if anything, I'll show you another kind of cool tool that I have that'll help us get there. All right, now that you guys have been set up in a better position, you can see directly ahead. Here's your little friend here. It's going to be all the rage and all the issues today. Okay, that is loosen. Here, that was tight. Now this is loosen. Oh my God. Yeah. All right, see right here. This here is an oil filter wrench. That is going to help you get rid of that boy. Now, sometimes they can be a little tricky to use. Sometimes it's not always great, so that's why you have your mitts. You can put gloves on. You can grab a rag. Do what you need to do to not burn yourself. Oh my goodness. Working at this angle does not do me justice. Give me just a second here, folks. Well, after meticulous struggle, she's finally turning. Okay, so when that starts to turn, take your bucket And, ouch, careful. So, keep in mind, this touching that which is hot will transfer heat to this. So when you go ahead and grab it, be mindful. As I completely disregard my own rules. Okay, see? Now she's spinning again. That being said, take your bucket. I know it's going to be kind of hard to see in there, so bear with me. I'm trying not to get you guys dirty as well as myself. Not like I got a date to go on, but woo, woo! Yikes. Huh. Okay, see here? That engine oil is a little warm. Good to be careful. Better safe than sorry. Yeah, that oil is pretty black. Time to go, 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 go. Alright. Now, I'll try and show you this. Okay. As you can see, kinda, right here, it's running. Let it run. Don't let it too much. The reason I'm saying that, you want to get as much of the nasty, nasty crap out of your engine as you can. Not saying that there's particles and junk in your engine, but over time your engine does wear and it does have carbon buildup. So with carbon buildup, it's going to come out this thing. Anything that was in the engine oil is coming out, and since it was warm, which is, well, hot, there's still a lot of that particulage in there and not at the bottom of your oil pan. With that being said, gotta be mindful. As you can tell, it's hot. You can't see the heat coming off of it. The only thing you can tell is by the feel. So if something feels warmer than it should, the inside is probably warmer than the outside. It's just common knowledge, common fact. You know this when you go ahead and microwave a burrito. If you put it in too long, if the outside burns your fingers, the inside is definitely going to burn you. Don't be dumb. Now, with all that being said, we're down to a bit of a trickle. That's going to be a fun project, so I'm going to try and break that loose while this thing still trickles down. And here's, I'm going to slide this. Oh, and by the way, do not dump your engine oil on the ground or in the grass. That's just gross and is terrible for the environment. Don't do it. It's simple. Take care of the environment takes care of you. Put this in the ground and your ground's going to go bad. Now, however, if you see a nasty, nasty wasp's nest, go ahead and maybe do some dumb shit. But you didn't hear that from me. I've tried to fight this, and this thing's being a pain in the rear end. Ugh. Yeah, I know I said to be careful. Ugh. But it's on there pretty good. It ain't coming off without some kind of force. So, today's special lesson is called Mechanics No-No. This is what you try not... This is the only time I'm going to say this. You do this in emergencies. Okay, so it's been a minute. What I've done is what is known as the Mechanics No-No. Gonna drain the fluid out of here because this canister in here refused to come loose for all of my tools. Okay, so what I ended up having to do is take this screwdriver here and drive it at a slant so it goes through the bottom and the side. And would you look at this, folks? When I do that, the damn thing turns. Whichever mechanic put this on there. How do you sleep at night, bro? You must sleep with both pillows. Both sides of the pillow. Ow, 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 ow. Ow. Karma. Yeah, and then grab your tub there to catch any drippage. Now I'm all the way underneath here. As you can see, my forearm goes this way. I am a long ways this way, going underneath the truck. Okay. Now, like I said, grab this thing, move it out the way. Now the engine oil's like, oh man, I'm twitching pretty good. Whoo, got my body cramping up down here. Anyways, would you look at that, everybody? One piece of junk filter. And, alright, I'll show you something here after I make sure it's out. Like I said. Okay, so you see this See what my pinky's on right here? That's a gasket. You gotta make sure that is not still up top. Because if it is, you're gonna end up screwing up a bunch of stuff. Shop mechanic, if anyone's teaching auto shop and they're showing their students this, please explain why that's important. Okay, well now if I move my arm out the way, you can see there is nothing coming out that engine. Congratulations, you've drained your oil. That is half the job. Being stuck underneath this truck for this long makes me contemplate all of my life decisions. I've come to several new life conclusions by this point. Anyways, so if you have a shop rag or a towel or something that you're using for shop, go ahead and clean off your fingertips. I don't know why I said that. Don't. I will, because I'm messing with the camera. So, with that being said, you will rejoin me out in just a moment. Okay, now as you can see, I am out from underneath the car. As you can tell, I've got nothing but dust and crap all over my face, my hair, even my shirt's got oil on it, all over. Make sure you are wearing, I'm going to add some at the beginning of this. Please make sure you're wearing something absolutely not nice in any way, just some stuff you already have dirty from the last oil change, or some shop clothes. I don't have shop clothes. These are my shop clothes. Some of you might recognize this is actually the staff shirt from the Starved Rock Nationals that I worked a couple of years back. Anyways, let's actually take a look at this oil now that we kind of got it out here in the sunlight, huh? Alright, taking a look here, you'll notice it's pretty gross. What you're going to want to get for the next step is a singular, clean rag. Or a rag that's not been laying on the floor. Okay, now I'm going to take my hand. Normally, mechanics can take latex gloves or whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and do the dumb thing. Don't follow my example. Please wear latex gloves or something, or some pair of work gloves, because this motor oil is actually not all that hot. But what you're looking for is this little friend here. See? Again, my hands are pretty gross. You can see my drain plug is sitting on a nice clean towel where I'm going to wipe it down, clean it off, make sure it looks nice, and we're going to put it back under, and I'll show you what we're going to do with this and that next. So let me take this rag real quick. First, clean. Use your dirty rag already. Okay. Whew. And I'm going to clean my hand off with the same rag, and you'll rejoin me. Alright, y'all. Here's how this works now. So, as you can see, my hands are clean-ish. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, when checking your oil, older car, newer car, whatever, be sure to make sure the color is not pink, like light pink, like a strawberry milk, and that it's not like a milkshake, which means you have a bad head gasket. As you can clearly see, carefully as not to drop you in, that oil is black. Make sure you, oh, another thing, this little bottom piece here is also a magnet. After you clean off the threads and lightly dab around the magnet, check to see if there's any metal particles that's sticking to your finger or sticking to that little black nub there, this tiny little thing. I'll bring it up to the camera so you guys can see it, right about there. But with that being said, I'm going to do a little more incentive. Also, take stock of your stuff. There's a gasket on there. This gasket's built onto here. No need to change it. However, some gaskets, they get dry and they crack and they break, and then they'll start leaking from where this mounts to. You saw it underneath there. If it starts leaking, do not hesitate to fix it. Take this off. Sometimes you can get the whole piece, sometimes you can get just the gasket. Regardless, take care of it. Now, as every mechanic should, they should carry a can of brake clean. This is brake clean, brake parts cleaner. Dries fast, leaves no residue. Cleans fast too. So, I'm going to clean up the threads here. Not that they're dirty, per se. But, what I'm going to do, just kind of gently. So, you can watch me here. Alright, as you can tell, whatever any loose dirt that I didn't get with a rag or a towel, it's gone now. But I'm still going to hit it one more time with that rag as soon as I know that it's kind of dry. Seeing as my fingertips are mostly dry, it's time to dry it. See, that's fast acting. That's some good stuff. I picked this up where? O'Reilly's. Thanks, O'Reilly's. Wish I had a sponsorship, but can't always get what you want. Okay, now once you've ensured that your threads are clean, do not put this on the ground. Do not put this back in the oil. Don't put it anywhere that it's going to get dirty again. So what I'm going to do, take this, put it on the rag, fold the rag crunch up the rag just enough so I can see. There's the head of it. It's like a little ghost thingy. Anyways, now I'm gonna set up the next thing to show you, and we're gonna go from there. Okay, now that you guys are set up again, you can kind of just see me. You can see the top of the engine, so I'm gonna hold everything up for you. All right, so you take your new filter. I've already compared sizes to the old one. Re-clean my hands. They're both the same. So take them out. This is what they look like without putting a hole in them. So what you're going to want to do, some people tell you throw some oil in here so that when your engine starts up, it doesn't have to run from nothing. Like I said, my hands got pretty cleaned up with the brake clean twice. So I'm going to do, you're going to crack your new oil here. Take the lid off. You're going to punch a hole in the top here. Grab all this all this EPA redundant nonsense to protect the environment. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big Theodore Roosevelt fan in terms of U.S. history. Do I believe that we pollute as much as they say we do? Absolutely not. All the numbers we get are skewed for everything, regardless of what you want to believe. And there's a floater in there now. Crap. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your finger, you're going to dip it in here. Make sure it touches the engine oil. Dab any of the excess off on the side. Okay, I'm going to set you in a way that you are not going to fall over and spill. So kind of keep that oil on your finger without touching anything. Okay, now that that's on pretty good, I'm going to set this over here. It's out of my way. Alright, see this? Take that oiled up finger with that brand new oil just around the seam here. All the way around. That way it makes a great suction thing to the surface. That's pretty sure the guy who did my last change used too many Ooga-Doogas. As fun as it is to use Ooga-Doogas, Ooga-Doogas are not a precise measurement. Stop doing it. Anyways, now this can go back, and before you even decide, oh wait, I'm going to go back down there, remember the drain plug's not in, so don't put any engine oil in there. You'll rejoin me as soon as oh, one more thing. This, do not tighten this with a wrench. Hand tight. Hand tight. Otherwise, you will over screw it on and it will leak. You don't want that. You'll rejoin me in just a minute. Okay, as you can tell, I'm still up here and the filter's not on. So what I'm doing is I forgot to mention, make sure there's nothing in there, because I did have a floater in there from crap on top, EPA. Anyways, what you want to do is just kind of swirl this around. Get the inside nice and coated. I don't know the exact science behind it. Your shop teachers, someone a little more mechanically inclined than I am, who's been in the field a lot longer than I have, aka for me, Kent, who lives that way, can tell you more. I, on the other hand, am not that adept to tell you as to why you should do it, why you shouldn't do it, whatever. I'm just telling you just different tips and tricks that I know to help you. Anyways, you'll rejoin me as soon as this filter and our little drain plug there are back in safe and sound, nice and snug. And I'll tell you a little more about that. Yeah, I haven't gone back down yet because I forgot to mention one really important thing. And I know my old shop teacher H would be very disappointed in me for not mentioning it. Okay, so I'm pulling out of my handy dandy toolbox. This is a torque wrench. I know I'm actually doing something that's not really sketchy and or roadworthy, road legal, questionable. I'm using torque specs. The correct torque spec that I just read from Chevy for the 4.3 liter V6 Vortex is 12 foot-pounds. I forget the Newton meters. I forget the inch pounds. I will look that up, and I'll insert it in here somewhere right about there. Yeah, we'll put it right there. But I'm going under. See ya. There. Well, I know that the back screen there is looking at the ground, trying to show you things while I'm trying to do this. Okay, so what I did do is I did put oil in here. I did keep it up vertically. I did clean up the threads in there and the around area, just so it doesn't have anything crazy going on. Now, I take my oil filter in here. I'm just gonna nice and gently go all the way on. Look at that. Look at that, everybody. So I know you can't really see it because of my angling. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Now you can see me tightening it at least. And one more turn. There. Nope, one more. Right there. Okay. No more. No more. If it looks like again, when you're done here, you are going to end up having to take a look down here, make sure nothing is leaking from here. Okay, like I said before, let me clean that up too, just real fast. Just kind of put my finger over that one, reach underneath my head. All right, let me lay that towel down. Like I said, keep that drain plug in your rag. See? So now when I go to unwrap it, there I don't have to worry about it having a bunch of crud all over it. See? Still just as clean as when I showed you before. So now what I'm going to do, take it, insert it, and finger tie it first, because it's not crazy hard to do. Alright. Then, reaching back beneath my neck, and my head apparently, goodness me, try and keep your tools in a place that isn't going to try and kill you. So, as you can tell, I brought my torque wrench down here. I didn't set it yet. I'll show you kind of how to do that in a minute. What I did bring is my little trusty ratchet. So I'm going to do, make sure we're going to tighten this thing. Alright, see? Just a little bit, and good. Alright, so, this is where things get interesting because I'm trying to show you and do it at the same time. So I'm going to try and finagle my way over to you. So I took the socket off, so let me put the socket actually on here. Let me reach around my head and watch this. You're armed. Over here. All right, at the bottom here. You see how in the light reflectiveness you can see little notches? Let me move my arm again. Okay. Down here, all along here, there's little notches. That's going to tell you exactly where you want to set it. So, for this specific one, okay, so I looked it up. It is 12 pounds, 12 foot-pounds, and 16 Newton meters. Now, this thing's got a bunch of different little labels on here. So, if you wanted to see foot-pounds, you rotate onto the back here. So, on the back side of it, you have your foot-pounds. On the front side of it, when it's facing like this with the socket side down, you have your Newton meters. But we're not caring about Newton meters. We are caring about foot-pounds. So, once the 0 lines up with the 10, that means you're at 10 foot-pounds. You want to go on here, you're going to see you have these little marks. You've got your standard 1, 2 is on this side, so you're going to want to go to 2. So you've got 0, there's 1, and there's 2. Lock it with this little plate here. Lock it in place. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to work underneath the truck, but we're going to give her the old college try here. Whew. All right. So you want to so what you're going to want to do is keep tightening it until you feel this, the actual bar, it'll start giving. It'll go tink tink. I'll see if I can get it for you. Hear that? That is 12 foot-pounds, folks. That means you are torqued to spec, ladies and gentlemen. That means you can take your wrench off, slide all your crap out from underneath you, and you can go up to the surface and begin the last phase of this project. Whoo, yay, jazz hands. Let's do this. All right, now comes the fun part. So I'd made sure just to double check things here. The 99 Chevy S10s take 4.5 quarts. I texted the previous owner who modified this thing. Asked him, what's the oil capacity? He said, same as stock. It's supposed to be just like it's bone stock, but fast. So with that being said, I have my funnel in here. It's been sitting up here, so I'm gonna go grab a rag real quick and make sure it's clean so there's no debris entering there. There's my rag. Inside the truck. Okay. With that clean rag that I told you guys to use for the whatchamacallit, for your drain plug, go ahead and clean that out. Kind of stick your finger in there. Make sure it comes through. Get all the way down. And ta-da! Clean inside, now dirty rag. Now, what you want to do, set your funnel in there, and you don't want to overfill it. That being said, please remind yourselves that every time you overfill one of these, it's going to be a headache. In any sense. What we're going to do now is we're going to start pouring this into there. So, that being said, take your cap off. I'm actually going to grab one of my screwdrivers because I do know there is a weird floater in there, and I want to be able to catch it so it doesn't enter my motor. Sound good? Sounds good to me. Now, if I could remember what I just did with that screwdriver that I literally just hit. Aha! Hello, friendo. And you're kind of caked in oil. Fun. Also, at the end of this, feel free, if any of your tools are oily or gross or nasty, to spray them down with some brake clean. I'm just going to give mine a good little rinse here. Not a rinse, but a wash. So I'm going to take this screwdriver, just kind of set it across there. So when I pour the oil in, anything big enough to get stuck is going to get stuck. Okay, actually, I'm going to try and... Well, I want it facing that way. Okay, now with that being said, grab your engine oil here. Ooh, carefully, as not to try and spill it all over your exhaust, because then it will smoke and it will be gross. And you will look like you drive an absolute nasty, well, in mechanics terms, shitbox. Congrats, you've learned a new term for today. 2 new things learned today. The no-no way, and a new term. Okay, I'm going to stop for just a second. As you can see on the back here, these fine fellas here have installed this gray meter to tell you how much is in here. I'm going to set this on flat ground. It's not doing a lean. Okay. We're just under 3. We need to be sitting at 1 quart left in this thing. 1 quart's not terrible. Let me see if I can see that floater. Oh, stuck to the wall on the opposite side. Let's go. I'll take that. Just as long as it's not touching anything else. Alright, now you gotta resume pouring nice and gently. Ooh, not too quick now. You don't want it to spill out the bottom there. Alright, what you're going to keep doing is you're going to fill it, keep filling it. Check your level again. I'm trying to hold it kind of steady here. Looks like we're sitting just about under 2. We need to be at exactly 1. So what we're going to do here, ooh, looks like it kind of ran down the front too. Try not to make a huge mess all over everything. if it can't be helped, it can't be helped. But if you can help it, try not to make a huge mess. Your neighbors, your friends, and your shop teacher will appreciate you more than you know. Okay. Let me set this thing on flat ground again because we're getting close. No rocks, no screwdrivers in the way. Okay, we still got a little ways to go. We want to try and do it to the exact spec. Okay. And I'm going to say stop. Okay, we are now sitting at exactly 1 quart left in here, which means, well, no, 4.5 out of 5 quarts, so we need to be actually under 1. See, the heat yesterday fried my brain. Whatever am I going to do? Anywho, what you want to do is you're going to grab this thing. Amazing, right? Grab it, kind of hold it nice and gently. I want to be just at half a quart left. We are 3/4, so just another little bitty here. Just a little bitty bit. And another little bit in there. And we're going to hold that. Okay. Let me double check on flat ground because I don't trust my hands. Okay. Okay, that's exactly half of a quart left in there. Go ahead and put your top back on. Now, what you're going to do, take that immaculate rag you've been holding around. Take your screwdriver out if you had any little bitty bits. Clean that off. Get it nice and clean. It can't rust. It'll help prevent rust. It'll help keep them looking nice. And your tools will look brand new. Okay, so now you can set that anywhere it's not going to create a giant spark when you touch it. Pull out your funnel here. Kind of do a little dabbling on the sides there, get any remaining oil off of there. Now, set your funnel somewhere it's not going to cause any issues. And put the cap back on. Whew. Okay, now I'm going to set you out of the way. I'm going to get everything away from the engine, any plastics, any garbage, anything like that could cause this thing any issues firing up. So, with that being said, I'm going to pause it. I'm going to do some camera magic, and we're going to be right back. Whew. Right, as you can see, the top of my engine is pretty clean now. Pretty clear. There's one thing I got to move, so I'll set that out of the way. Now, for those of you who are going to, or in the Ottawa High School autos program, H is going to have you say clear, and everyone's going to reply with clear, and then you're going to start the vehicle. I'm not going to say clear. There is nobody else out here but me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you guys be my first set of eyes. While I look, and while I start the vehicle, I'll let it idle a little bit. We're going to see if there's any leaks at all. That's what we're checking for, is leaks, leaks, and leaks. Because if it's leaking, something's not tight all the way, or something's not sealing properly. And that is the best way to crater your engine. So I'm going to set you guys in here. We're going to get started. All right. So now, let's set you guys down. Kind of, you know what, I'll set you underneath here. Kind of straight up and perpendicular. All right, with that being said, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. All right. So for those of you in H's class by this point, as soon as this door opens and I sit inside, you all say clear, whatever that might be. Underneath there and see if there's anything dripping. So it's sitting right near you. I can see, so far I don't see anything falling, hitting the ground, but that's not enough just to say, okay, we're good. You're going to want to go to the other side where you can see both the drain plug and the filter. Okay. She's running pretty good right now. Yep, okay, so let me show you something here. Hey, there we go. Okay, see? We're running about what she normally runs in oil pressure, just idling. It's been hot. I have no doubt that that old oil was not doing it any justice. So we're gonna go actually look for some leaks now. So you gotta make sure you have oil pressure at all times, because if you don't, you actually have no oil and you are about to throw a piston through the side of your car. But anyways, going underneath now. Okay, but all right. There's the drain plug. Let me zoom in up there for you. There's the drain plug. As you can see, there are no persistent leaks. There's nothing coming out from around it. Nothing at all. So I'm gonna back out just a little. Okay, switch views here. All right, now what you want to do is find that oil filter, which is kind of hard to do from this angle, but is up in here, and you would start seeing it drip all around that oil pan. Seeing as that oil pan corner is completely dry and the area around it, except for where I touched, is completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and say that's perfectly good. We're fine to go ahead and kill the truck. Don't want to overheat it any. As you can see, nothing leaking, nothing persisting. We're good to go. Whew, man, it's been a journey. So now, one of the things you're going to notice, actually, see this here? It's an exhaust tube. That exhaust tube got some oil on it. It's going to start steaming and smoking. Alright, let me get out from underneath here. Ow. Ow. That being said, oh, goodness me. With that exhaust tube smoking because the oil's on it, that's completely normal. Would I recommend driving it right away? Absolutely not. But is anyone going to stop you? No. The best thing you can do for it is just not drive it right away. Let that oil kind of dry, or hit it with a rag before you turn it over. If you see if it's caked in oil, clean it off. It's the best thing you're going to do for your engine. So now, just to check, she's up here getting up to temperature. So let me zoom in here. See here? We were sitting right about here before, somewhere in there. Now we're kind of up to the normal idle air temperature, which is amazing. You're not the idle air temperature, you just have the regular temperature, amount of oil pressure that you should have, and that's pretty decent. So with that being said, I'm gonna reach around here, shut it off, and continue going from there. Okay, I don't want you so close to my face, goodness. Let me zoom back, let me put you back at 1. Okay, with that being said, that is a simple and easy way to change your oil. Goodness. With all that being said, it's immaculate, it's amazing, you're done. That is how to change your oil. It's not complicated, and obviously, like I said, I do have an extra spare oil canister right back there for all that crap. So it's not going into the environment. It's just another thing to take care of the planet. I'm not saying that you got to go out and hug a tree. I'm saying just don't dump your oil into your yard, because then your yard will look like crap. If you're just trying to get a job done, it takes more work to not grab a filter and the old bottle or another bottle you just had sit laying around. Like I said, funnel into the top of your used oil canister or your empty oil canister. As you can tell, you're going to see that my pants are covered in absolute dirt and grime. Don't go into your don't walk in your mama's house with all this stuff, because it's gross and nasty. Take it off before the porch. Yeah, you're going to be in your underwear or your skivvies, but you're not going to make a mess and get yelled at. Common sense. Okay, so with that being said, move all your junk there. And carefully, extra carefully. Going down, you don't want to try and not get it all over the concrete, driveway, gravel. The best you're trying to do is take care of the planet. Theodore Roosevelt, one of my favorite U.S. presidents of all time, made national parks a thing. Might as well do him a service and not dump a bunch of crude oil and used oil and all that other crap all over the ground. And if you're a parent who's watching this, it'll help increase your property value. Dad, if you were watching this, my bad with my first truck. It had an oil leak. There was nothing I could do, and you wouldn't let me park in the grass. Okay, as we get to about vertical, make sure you don't drop your oil canisters into the funnel and knock everything over and ruin all the progress you just made. Okay. That being said, nothing there. Set this down. All good to go. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Oh, you thought the video was over? My bad. I forgot one more thing. Pick up your tools. See my tools out there? If I just left them there, they'd be gone. I would have nothing. That's why toolbox, and I have storage space outside and within my basement. So with that being said, clean up your mess. That's my 2 cents. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you later.